Hi, Jason Croft here. If it always seems like I'm doing these in a hotel room, it's because I usually am. I've got my wife and 3 boys at home, and the household there can be kind of nuts. So when I'm on the road traveling, I like to kind of catch up on these and take advantage of the quiet a little bit and do some of these videos. And I wanted to just talk today a couple of minutes on something that's pretty passionate. I'm pretty passionate about, which is transforming our education system. And I use that word transform very carefully. I was at an Empower event earlier today. If you don't know about the Empower Network and what it's all about, just click the link below this video and you'll learn all about it. It's an amazing opportunity. But I was at an event today here in Chicago, and one of the speakers, Tony Rush, he was talking about that difference between change and transformation, and his analogy was, you know, if you take some mashed potatoes, you put a little garlic in there, well, that changes the flavor of those mashed potatoes. But if a caterpillar goes into a cocoon, comes out a butterfly, that's a transformation. And I personally feel like that's the level we're at with our education system. That this is what we need. It's not just a change and an improvement in our education system, but a complete transformation. And you know, Seth Godin talks about in his book Stop Stealing Dreams. You know, he calls for that same need for a transformation. You know, he brings up a great point that our current education system is built around the industrial age. It's all, you know, it was built to get people in line and churn out factory workers. And, you know, our society and our economy is past the industrial age, but our public school system isn't. So, so how? And I certainly don't have all the answers or many of them. You know, it's something it's my journey right now on a big level, on a societal level, because I think it's really important to the future of our world, honestly. And at a smaller level, you know, I've got boys 7, 5, and 1, and I want to make sure that they have the best education possible. And my wife and I are trying to figure out what that means. You know, does it mean homeschooling them? Does it mean getting them to a Montessori school? Does it mean sending them to a private school of some other sort? We're trying to figure out those decisions, and you know, that's something that I'm excited to be a part of, the Empower Network, because well beyond just while you're in school, you know, they really support and really demand in a good way of you to constantly learn. Keep training yourself, training your mind, and really just become a better person. And so being here at the event this weekend is kind of spurred those feelings that I have about, you know, our education system and getting our kids in better shape. You know, I was listening to a podcast today, Human Business Works, by Chris Brogan. He had Noah Bushnell on his podcast, and he wrote a book called Hiring the Next Steve Jobs, and it was a great interview. And something that just got my brain working again along these lines was, he brought up a really good point that, you know, in high school, like the school reading list, there's no science fiction on that reading list. It's all literature. It's all, you know, books from the past. You know, we need courses and books that are going to grow our children's minds, that are going to get them to think better, to think forward. And, you know, things like science fiction, things like, you know, business books, Malcolm Gladwell's books, A book like Blink and The Tipping Point. I mean, why aren't those required reading in our schools, or even just offered and talked about? So again, I certainly don't have all the answers. I like to throw this out there to all of you, and I hope there's plenty of folks who are as passionate as I am, and I'm looking forward to being at least a small part of that transformation in our education system, and I hope you are as well. Thanks.